Shaquille O'Neal, Grant Hill, Kenny the Jet Smith working as well. I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you with us. Let's get right to Stat of the Night presented by Corona. A bunch of numbers to digest from this romp of a win for Golden State. They recorded their 87th win of the season, including the regular season. That ties with the 96 Bulls for the most all time. They're the third team ever to win games 1 and 2 of the finals by 15 plus. First team ever to beat LeBron James in 7 consecutive games. And the third team in NBA history to win 50 games at home in a single season, including the regular season. The 86 and 87 Celtics each did that, so only the second franchise to enjoy 50 home wins in a single campaign. This wasn't close. I mean, it just wasn't close. It was a 22 run in the second quarter, and it was domination on both ends of the floor. What did you see?
I was telling Kenny and Grant during the break, sort of feels like 94-95 when Houston beat Orlando Magic. What I mean by that is, you know, Akeem was the man. We focused on him, but everybody else took over. First game, Kenny hit 9 threes. Today, second game, Draymond, who they're daring to shoot, gets hot, 28 points, almost 30, and they just outplayed this team. You know, the difference is when Golden State gets it in the post, guys are cutting. Backdoor cut, there's moving and get simple plays. It's apparent that Cleveland wants to switch everything. Golden State says, okay, you switch, we're not going to even set the screen, we're going to slip. They did that about 5 or 6 times, easy baskets. The team that shoots the highest percentage and get the most easiest baskets and plays the hardest is the team that's going to win. I'm disappointed. I thought Cleveland was going to come out with championship-style energy, and for them to get blown out by 30, I may have to change my pick.
And you know, Matt, the thing that's crazy, the last four times that they played, or the 4 times they played this year, 2 of them have been blowouts. And sometimes as a player, there's just certain guys you match up well against, you know you're going to dominate. And as a team, the same thing. And I think Golden State just knows they are a better team than Cleveland. And they just have that confidence. And the spirit of Cleveland was gone. Like, they look befuddled.
They look defeated.
I don't think Golden State's the only one that knows that at this point.
Yeah. Well, at the start of this series, this is honestly what I expected. You know, just the matchups does not favor Cleveland. The things that they can do great are actually the things that hinder them. So the fact that they can go one-on-one, break the defense down, actually hinders them. The fact that Kevin Love is a stretch 5 hinders them because Draymond Green is a better stretch 5 than he is. And the fact that they don't have a shot blocker is the biggest difference because now the rim runs or the drives to the baskets become dunks.
Well, Mozgov is that they don't play them.
And they don't play. But if you look at the amount of dunks that they had tonight, they had more dunks tonight than they probably had in the whole series against Oklahoma City. So it's nothing wrong with Cleveland. And like, this is just a better team to me. I thought Draymond Green would be the MVP before the series. He's looking like it because they don't have a guy who can stay in front of him at that position unless it's LeBron James. Unless they put LeBron James at the 5. And I would be nervous if I was Golden State if Kevin Love doesn't play because I think that might help Cleveland, honestly, in terms of matching up a little bit differently because...
Does it become a Mozgov series then?
It could, or whomever. But the way it's constructed now, it doesn't work.
You know, it's interesting. In game 1, when they had 2 bigs on the floor, Cleveland was actually plus 11. But they've played small. And this goes back to the debate last year about the finals when they decided to play to Golden State's strength and go small. And obviously that didn't work.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think playing big will help them against this team. We saw that Oklahoma City, that big interior gave Golden State problems. But look, another point, Kenny. The playmakers they have, Golden State, guys that can make plays, make passes, set others up. You know, obviously Curry has that. Bogut as a starter. You know, Draymond Green, we know he can be a triple-double machine. Livingston, Iguodala. You got guys that can be facilitators. And on top of the fact that they move. Cleveland, all they really have as facilitators is LeBron and maybe Dellavedova. Kyrie Irving's more of a one-on-one, doesn't really get a lot of assists. So when you have lack of ball movement and no one who can make others better, it just makes it a nightmare out there, and they can't score and they can't get back in defense and defend.
And speaking of not scoring, Matt, the Lakers averaged 97.3 points this year. That was the worst team. So if you can't get close to that, you're definitely not going to win, especially in the finals. You know, you have to generate points You have to score points. And Kenny, you made an interesting point. The way they played in the first 2 rounds where everybody's panicked on LeBron, he drives, everyone kick out, he's kicking it. It's not happening now. They're playing him one-on-one. They're staying in front of him. They're stepping up to the challenge. When he gets in the post, he holds it too long. Guys are stagnant. They're not moving around. And it's definitely affecting them, and that's why they're down 0-2.
You know what the difference, too, Shaq? Golden State is saying, we're not going to meet you on the perimeter. We're going to meet you at the rim. So they have guys clogging up towards the rim, which makes it a little bit more difficult to make that last-minute pass. I thought in the other series, teams were meeting LeBron at the free throw line, and then that allowed him to find guys for wide-open shots. But they're saying, no, meet him at the rim. Everyone converge when he gets to the rim, and that has been effective and slowed him down tremendously.
Well, remember, this was a team that was a prolific three-point shooting team in the postseason so far, but through 2 games, 7 and 5 made 3-pointers for Cleveland, which is averaging 83 points per game through 2 games. And the contrast here, Shaq, in a tape that we cut with you in mind about the Golden State ball movement, what you were just talking about a moment ago, everybody on this team passes.
You know, they have great success when they, move the ball right here. Supposed to be switching. Shannon Fry, a little bit late. Great pass right there. Right here, just movement. I'm watching Steve Kerr because I'm sitting over there next to him. He's not calling plays. He just keeps saying to the guy, move the ball. Move the ball. And that's what they're doing. Right here, you get double. Don't dribble between your legs. Kick it to a guy who they are daring to shoot. He's hot. He misses it right there. Randy Livingston, what's his name?
Sean Livingston.
Sean Livingston, Randy Livingston, LSU. Shout out to LSU. Right here, get it to the specialist, a great player, Klay Thompson. When they move the ball, everyone's involved. Everyone touches the ball. Everyone eats. That's why a guy like Draymond Green could give you 28.
Man, that looked like my 6th grade offense, man. That's just all it was.
Listen,
hey, pass, move the ball,
a pretty good 6th
create.
grade
listen,
That's all it was, really.
McKinney.
One guy can't take more than 3 dribbles to get a shot off. That's it. You get 3 dribbles to get it off. If you can't get your shot off in 3 dribbles, you move it.
But
it looks like dummy offense.
Right.
Dummy offense where you're working on your offensive sets against no defense.
It's got to go to him. There's no way that ball doesn't go to him. And that's the difference. There's no way if you were playing in the park and 3 guys and if Barbosa took that shot instead of passing it to everybody in the park would stop the game and go, yo, you didn't see me open?
Well, he wouldn't get picked. That's the problem. He wouldn't get picked next time.
That's my point.
But there are 2 parts to the equation here. It's remarkable how many times in a half-court set that the Warriors find themselves with a man advantage as they get closer to the rim. 2-on-1, 3-on-2, whatever it is. That's on Cleveland as well.
Well, if you're going to switch, you definitely have to communicate. You definitely have to be definitive. But, if it breaks down 4 or 5 times as a captain of the team, I'd be like, you know what, we're not doing no more. Old school basketball style, man up. I mean, because it's just, Duke style basketball. First time we played you guys.
Carolina style basketball.
No, Duke style basketball. I never played Carolina. Matt Winsham was afraid of me. Anyway, when we went to Duke and y'all beat us by 20 the first, that's all y'all did. We were trying to switch everything. Y'all backdoor cut us to death. Because I'm sitting over there watching Steve Kerr. Because they did it the first time. I'm like, what play is that? So I'm just watching him, and he's just sitting there going, move the ball. Move the ball. Let's go. Push it. Move the ball. Like he didn't 15 or horns or 5, turn 5. None of that. Like you said, high school offense.
He said typically he only calls out sets on 15 or 20 possessions a game. They just read and react.
Well, because they practice reading and reacting, and they have basketball. If I say it this way, it would give the illusion that Cleveland doesn't have thinkers. But they have more guys on their team that have gotten through their talents by having to overcompensate thinking through the play. They don't have as many guys that can jump over you or to jump through you or jump around you. So in turn, they've had to learn the game to be effective differently. Barbosa was probably in his younger days was faster, but Sean Livingston, guys, they play the game differently to score. And to me, that is just honestly playing in the park, but you do it so much in practice, and I'm sure they do it a lot, where they create these 3-on-2, 2-on-1 opportunities, and everyone understands where to go. It's just simple spacing that's what plays are for spacing. They're just playing basketball because the spacing is already there, so they don't have to call plays. But that's all it is. Because Steph was open on that play, too.
Example, you got 2 guys under the rim for Golden State, wide open.
And I tell people all the time, Kenny, I'd rather have 2 talented players and 3 intellectually basketball players on my team rather than 5 talented basketball players.
I agree.
They've also
Great
got guys who can shoot the basketball, and tonight they hit 15 of 33 from three-point range. But for the second straight game, it wasn't the Splash Brothers killing Cleveland. They still haven't gotten off. Neither one has had a 20-point game so far.